Hey guys, Cody here with Fount Atelier, and today we're going to talk about 4 reasons why oil paint is the best paint. Stick around. Before we start, if you like drawing, sketching, painting, or really anything to do with art, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button below. That way you can see more content like this in the future. Okay, let's talk oil paint. Now, most people's reaction when they think of oil paint is, isn't that poisonous? Isn't it just old, dead artists that use that stuff? Isn't that so hard to clean? Therefore, people tend to shy away from oil paint and go to their water-based brethren, acrylic paint, tempera, or watercolor. That being said, I'm here to change your mind. In my opinion, oil paint is the best paint for beginners to learn how to paint with for these 4 reasons. Reason number 1 is that oil paint dries slowly, and by slowly, I mean that if you put a little bit of oil paint down on a palette, it could take a few days to even a few weeks to completely dry. And if you cake it on really thick, it might even take months. Why is this such a good thing? Well, if you're a beginner, the last thing that you need is to be mixing up values and colors only to have it dry 5 minutes after you mix it. I don't know about you, but I've done that several times and it is super frustrating. Working with oil paint allows you to take a deep breath, sit down, and focus on mixing the correct values and colors and having the confidence that they're not going to dry just a little bit into the future. I also love the fact that I'm able to sit down, work on a painting for a while, and then if I want to, I can get up, take a break, go eat lunch, something like that, and sit right back down and just get started again without missing a beat. Now you might be saying, well, isn't a slow dry time an issue? I mean, I don't want to take forever for my paints to dry, and what if I want to paint on top in layers? Valid concern. What I would say to that is that there are a ton of different mediums that you can add to paint to change its working properties, and several of those mediums help it to dry relatively quickly, as in within 8 to 12 hours, so it's really not too big of a problem. The number 2 reason that oil paint is the best paint is because it is so forgiving. That's right, oil paint, believe it or not, has a huge margin for error. Because it stays wet for so long, if you accidentally mess something up or make a mistake, you just take a palette knife and scrape it right off, no big deal, and keep going. That's about the opposite of a medium like watercolor paint. If you've used watercolor before, then you probably know that if you make a mistake in watercolor, it's there to stay for the most part. I mean, you can kind of try to blot it up a little bit, but it's not going anywhere. With watercolor, there is a really little margin for error. With oil paint, you got time and you can fix just about anything. The number 3 reason why I think oil paint is the best type of paint to learn on is because of its versatility. You can do just about anything that you want with oil paint. It's great for painting any subject, comes in a wide range of pigments and colors to choose from, has a ton of mediums that you can mix with it to change its working properties. Oil paint straight out of the tube looks a lot like toothpaste. It's really thick, which is perfect if you want to take a palette knife and build up really thick impasto layers of paint on your painting. You could also add solvent or a medium to it to really thin it down and create these really smooth, transparent layers that you can put one on top of the other and create these color and light effects that you can't get with other types of paint. And finally, the number 4 reason why I love using oil paint is because it is so historic. Artists have been using oil paint for centuries. It's been around for a super long time, and there's something that's kind of neat about using the same medium that famous artists from the past have used. Even a lot of the pigments that artists used several hundred years ago are the same pigments that we use today, and you can have the same color palettes that they used, which is pretty amazing. So as you can see, oil paint is a great medium, especially for beginners to learn how to paint with. Now you might be saying, yeah, but aren't there all these objections to using oil paint? I mean, I'm still not so sure. Well, in this video up here, I actually answered and gave solutions to the top 3 objections as to why people don't use oil paint. So you should go ahead and check that video out as well. In the meantime, if you found this information valuable, I really encourage you to hit like and subscribe and share this video with your friends so maybe they'll get something out of it too. Until next time, be creative, my friends.